There's a change happening in the American handgun scene. It isn't loud. It isn't plastered all over Instagram or YouTube Shorts. While polymer pistols and tricked-out carbines dominate the internet spotlight, another story is unfolding quietly. A handful of old-school revolvers are moving in steady numbers. No viral marketing, no influencer hype, just steel frames, proven reliability, and real shooters putting their money down. These wheel guns aren't about clout, they're about trust, and the sales data backs it up. Week after week, these classics are getting carried, fired, and relied upon by folks who care more about function than flash. This list isn't based on internet polls or random opinions. It's built from hard numbers, national sales rankings, and what I've seen with my own eyes at gun counters and ranges across the country. Some of these names will surprise you. Others you probably already own. Either way, here's what's driving the revolvers that are quietly climbing into the best-selling handguns in America. Colt Python. We'll kick it off with a heavyweight, the Colt Python. When Colt brought the Python back a few years ago, they didn't drown it in marketing campaigns. They let the revolver speak for itself. And shooters listened. This modern Python is chambered in .357 Magnum, feeding from a 6-round cylinder. Construction is stainless steel. The barrel wears Colt's signature ventilated rib, and you can get it in 3 inches, 4 1/4 inches, or a full 6-inch model. Colt didn't just dust off nostalgia. They re-engineered the platform. Upgrades like a reinforced top strap and a refined trigger system give it modern strength and precision. On the trigger, single-action brakes clean and light. Double-action press, smooth as glass with no grit. With a proper grip, even full-power .357 Magnum loads feel controlled, especially out of the 6-inch barrel. What sets the Python apart isn't just heritage, it's real buying behavior. Look at Gunbroker's revolver sales reports from late 2023 through early 2025. The Python has consistently sat near the top. In May 2025, Gunbroker listed it as the #1 revolver in sales. No ad blitz, no gimmicks. Just shooters lining up and waiting weeks to snag one. Once you shoot it, the reasoning is obvious. Perfect balance, smooth timing, tight lockup. It just works. After a few cylinders, you understand why people gladly spend $1,300 or more. This isn't a Safe Queen collectible anymore. It's a working revolver earning its place as both a shooter and a legacy piece. Heritage Rough Rider. Now let's swing to the opposite end of the spectrum. From a premium stainless wheel gun to one of the most affordable revolvers in the country, the Heritage Rough Rider. At first glance, seasoned shooters might pass it off as a novelty, but look at the sales numbers, and it tells a different story. The Rough Rider consistently lands in the top 5 bestsellers nationwide. Not as a one-time fluke, this pattern repeats month after month. Chambered in .22 long rifle with optional cylinders for .22 Magnum, the Rough Rider usually ships with a 6.5-inch barrel and fixed sights. Weight runs about 33 ounces. Steel barrel and cylinder. Zinc alloy frame to keep costs low while still holding up to rimfire use. Price? Most models land between $130 and $160. That makes it one of the most accessible revolvers on the shelf today. Operation is pure cowboy. Half-cock the hammer, open the loading gate, drop rounds in one at a time. That slow process teaches patience, safe handling, and solid fundamentals, especially for new shooters. It's the revolver equivalent of a bolt-action .22 rifle. Steady, predictable, reliable. At the range, it's not flashy, but it's always in use. Parents hand it to kids learning their first handgun. New shooters try it because the recoil is practically non-existent. And seasoned gun owners keep it around because it's just plain fun. Accuracy is surprisingly decent with quality rimfire ammo. 25 yards? No problem, especially with the longer barrel variants. Heritage has moved hundreds of thousands of these revolvers. Gunbroker's 2024 annual report showed the Rough Rider holding firm in the top 5 rimfire wheel guns, with demand still strong into 2025. These aren't Safe Queens. They're working tools. You'll find them in tackle boxes, glove compartments, barns, and toolkits. Whether it's plinking cans, dispatching pests, or teaching the basics, the Rough Rider proves itself again and again. It's not high speed, it's not fancy, but it does exactly what it promises: deliver a simple, affordable rimfire revolver that works. Taurus Judge. This is the revolver that doesn't care about applause. It was built for utility, not approval. The Taurus Judge fires both 45 Colt cartridges and 410 bore shotgun shells. That chambering alone makes it different from nearly every wheel gun out there. Depending on the model, barrel lengths run from 2.5 inches all the way to 6.5 inches. Some versions are even cut to handle 3-inch shells, which expands the versatility even further. Mechanically, it's a standard double-action revolver, but scaled up to manage the heavier payloads. That added size helps absorb recoil, especially when shooting hotter 410 loads. Testing shows 410 buckshot brings noticeable muzzle rise, but stays controllable. With 45 Colt, recoil is more direct and predictable, which makes accurate follow-up shots easier. This isn't a 25-yard bullseye revolver. At close distances, 7 to 10 yards, it does what it was designed for. Birdshot for critters. Buckshot or hollow points for defense. It covers both jobs in one package. The Judge stays relevant because it fills roles most revolvers can't. Farmers, truck drivers, and rural homeowners keep buying them because the platform works in their environment. While some purists dismiss it as a gimmick, sales data from late 2024 into early 2025 consistently puts the Judge in gun brokers' top 10 revolvers. You don't buy this gun for looks. You buy it for what it delivers when things get real. The Judge is the revolver you leave in the nightstand or drop in the center console. It's built for problems, not for praise. And in that lane, it's earning every sale it makes. Ruger LCR. Most revolvers stick to tradition. A few break the mold. And then there's the Ruger lightweight compact revolver, the Ruger LCR. Ruger ditched the all-steel formula and went with a hybrid frame. Polymer fire control housing, aluminum upper frame, stainless steel cylinder. Depending on caliber, it weighs just 13 to 17 ounces. It's offered in 22 LR, 38 Special Plus P, 327 Federal Magnum, and even 357 Magnum. But the bestseller, year after year, remains the 38 Special Plus P. At first glance, the LCR looks like a tool. Not flashy, not pretty, but pull the trigger, and you see Ruger's goal immediately. That cam-driven double action gives one of the smoothest, non-stacking pulls in its entire class. With standard 38 loads, accuracy stays tight, even with rapid follow-ups. Run plus P and it barks loud, but never loses control. This isn't a showpiece. It's the gun people trust when the lights go out. It disappears into a pocket, an ankle holster, or the nightstand drawer. That's why the LCR keeps showing up on Gunbroker's top sellers list. First-time concealed carriers buy it. Veterans of the lifestyle grab it as a lightweight backup. Nobody brags about carrying an LCR, but a whole lot of folks do anyway. Because it works, and in today's market, that reliability keeps it alive. Smith & Wesson 686. Plus, some handguns lean toward concealed carry, others lean toward hunting. The Smith & Wesson 686 Plus was engineered to sit right in the middle, a revolver tough enough for the backwoods but refined enough for the range. This is a full-size double-action wheel gun, chambered in 357 Magnum, and it carries a 7-round cylinder instead of the standard 6. Barrel options run from 2.5 inches up to 6 inches. Most shooters agree the 4-inch version is the balance point, big enough for velocity and sight radius, compact enough for practical use. The frame and barrel are cut entirely from stainless steel, with a full underlug running the length. That design makes it both tank durable and surprisingly well balanced. On the firing line, you feel that engineering immediately. The extra weight soaks up recoil, so even full-house 357 Magnum loads feel more like a controlled shove than a violent snap. The double-action pull isn't tuned for competition, but it's smooth and repeatable, exactly what you want when stakes are real. This is the revolver you take to teach the next generation how a Magnum wheel gun is supposed to run. It's also the one you strap on a chest rig while cutting trail through serious country. If someone asked, what single revolver could carry me through a lifetime? A lot of seasoned shooters would hand them this gun. In the marketplace, the 686 Plus has never been a passing fad. Through 2024 and into early 2025, it has stayed near the top of its class. Not because of hype or gimmicks, but because shooters trust forged steel and one more round in the cylinder. It's tradition updated just enough to matter. Diamondback SDR. Every once in a while, a revolver shows up from a name nobody expects. That's exactly what happened with the Diamondback SDR. Diamondback built its brand on modern sporting rifles and striker-fired pistols. Then in 2024, they stepped straight into revolver territory with a 6-shot, 357 Magnum double-action design. To the surprise of a lot of people, it landed with impact. The SDR ships with a 4-inch barrel underlugged for strength, a stainless steel frame, and rubber grips that tame heavy Magnum recoil. Up front, a fiber optic sight makes target pickup fast under daylight, something that's often overlooked in budget wheel guns. Run it in single action, and the trigger breaks crisp. Run it in double action, and while it's heavier than some competitors, it's still controllable for rapid strings. Accuracy holds respectably tight at typical defensive ranges. At 10 yards, groups stay steady without much effort. It's not built to sweep trophies at bullseye matches, but for defense, truck duty, or trail carry, it delivers what it promises. Sales didn't explode overnight, but demand has kept climbing. By early 2025, the SDR began showing up in gunbrokers' trending revolver lists, with a lot of shooters taking notice. What you see here is not a legacy piece with polished marketing. It's a workhorse revolver that gives you Magnum authority without pushing price tags past $1,000. If Diamondback keeps refining the line, the SDR could lock down a permanent slot in the budget Magnum market. At a time when firearms media chases trends and hashtags, these revolvers prove something simple. Solid steel and smart engineering never go out of style. The 686 Plus keeps its crown by doing everything well year after year. The Diamondback SDR is earning ground by showing that newcomers can still compete if they build a revolver right. Both deserve their place in safes, holsters, and glove boxes across America. If one of your favorites made this list, or if you've got a hidden gem I should cover, drop it down in the comments. I read them all. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment to keep this channel rolling. Until next time, stay sharp and stay ready.